Welcome back to another episode of Rust, Rivets, and Regrets. And on this episode, you get to watch me make a mistake. Yeah, I screwed something up. Now I got to figure out how to fix it. And it's hot. I mean, really hot for this Canadian. I don't know what it is in freedom units and bald eagles, but in snow cones and Celsius, it's hot. So hot the camera shut off on me twice, 3 times. I don't know. I didn't even know that was a thing, but it is. Anyways, yeah, this episode is kind of a short one. I shared with you everything that I can, so stick around and we'll go through it all together. Pain and suffering, go. Welcome back, everyone. Where we left off last time is this pinion. There's a hole here that this shaft is supposed to fit into. If I lift up on the lever, you can see how the pinion kind of misses the end, and in some cases has been bypassing this entirely and riding up on the side of it. So we're going to try to correct that. This shaft here, I don't know if you can see that. We'll bring you in a little closer. The shaft here, it's kind of loose. You can see it kind of wobbling around on the end there. And it's supposed to line up with this hole, but every time you try to move the lever, it hits. There it kind of fell in, but it's riding up on the side of the pinion. You can see the damage here, where this finger has dragged across it, and in fact on one of them it's knocked the cotter pin out, and you can see here, focus, where it's worn through and the spring is actually exposed. What I'd like to do is correct the alignment issue. This is actually a guide that's supposed to be slid down, and it's supposed to be pressed into this hole to guide this rod. So clearly some things have moved around. What I'm going to try to do is straighten the rod, get this back centered in the hole, and then if we have time, I'm going to try to do some hard facing on the end of this finger where it's ground quite a bit of it off. Maybe build it back up again with a little bit of weld. So here we go. What I'm going to try first is just to see if we can maybe rotate it a little bit, if it'll twist kind of where we want it to be, or if I need to take the whole thing apart. I prefer not to take the whole thing apart, but maybe we'll have to. And the rod bends relatively easily. I wonder if it's not even the right material. It's a little bit more in alignment. And if we slide this bushing down, line it up with that hole, I wonder if I can tap this bushing into the seat here and then get everything lined up. I'm going to try to hammer this into the block. I've got this old hammer handle. I don't want to mar anything up too much, so this is soft. If we can persuade it. Looks like we got it seated. Now, if we can get it to line up and move, it'll make it even better. That's kind of what we're looking for. Certainly repeatable. All right, let's break out the welder and try to put a little bit of life back on this edge. I don't know if you can see that or not, this edge right here. And I got to get some cotter pins in this also. I don't think I'm going to do anything about this broken bit. Hopefully it hangs on for a few years, or until I can find parts. Where I am, I having no luck finding anything for these things. Or at least at a cost point that the average person can afford. Bring in so you can see, just made it a little thicker. We'll kind of shape it now with the grinder and see how we end up. I think that's kind of what we're looking for. See how it moves here. Good enough for the people I know. Now, while we got the welder set up, one thing that's been bugging me is somebody welded this lovely piece of square tubing on, probably to get a little bit more leverage out of it when that thing was starting to fail. But there's supposed to be a handle, like this guy here, right here. And when I was digging through the pile of rubble in the frame, I found this guy, and I'm waging to guess that it's supposed to go right there. So why don't we take the grinder, cut this square tube off, and have a shot at welding this back on this arm. Here we go. You can see by the gold color in it, it's all brazed. So this is an older repair. There's a thin line of braze right there that I've missed. See if I can clean it out with the grinder. You can see in here still that it's flown back, maybe even to here. I'll have to keep digging at it till I find the end of it. Well, I got it off, not the way I anticipated. I actually broke it right there. I was hoping to save that. Oh well. All we can do now is try to make it right. So I've cut a bevel cut into the end here, and I'm going to try to weld this onto here. This is cast iron, so I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to MIG weld it, but I'll try. which is probably why they brazed it, or it was all they had available in the day. In any event, to do this right, this should be heated up, and this should be heated up, and then the weld be done, and then a post heat to let it cool equally. But we're not going to do that. We're just going to have at it with the MIG welder, and hopefully it sticks. And there'll be people shouting at their TVs saying, don't do it, it'll break. And yeah, maybe it will. And if that happens, I guess we'll revisit this and I can tell you all that you were right. But in the meantime, I'm going to go for it. Now I got to do this quick because my camera has overheated twice now, sitting out here in the sun. So this take is going to get it, or you're going to miss it. Here we go. Well, that's as far as we got. And then the spool's empty. I'm gonna have to get a new one of those. So I guess that's a full stop on this project. And we'll have to continue later on when I get more wire. Anyways, I'm gonna clean it up with the grinder, see what's left, and then we'll go from there. Well, it's as good as it's going to get. I'd like to run another pass, kind of fill in that low spot. But overall, I'm pretty pleased with it. Hopefully it's strong. We'll find out, I guess, soon enough. Wah, wah. Yep, I broke it. Almost immediately. So I am going to have to fix this, but without any more welding wire. I think this is where we're going to have to end the video. I am going to become better prepared and come back and do this right. I think a preheat, 400 degrees or 450 degrees or so, and then weld it and then let it cool down gradually. I'll pack it in an asbestos blanket or something, let it cool down overnight. But yeah, kind of had a hunch, but I took a shot. That's all you can do sometimes. But I really flopped it. I mean, I didn't even get penetration all the way through. In all fairness, though, I did run out of wire. But yeah. For those sitting at home saying, I told you so, you can say, I told you so. Anyways, this is where we're going to end it. Not a great video, but it's what we got. And we will regroup and try again next week. Thanks for watching. If there's a thumbs down button for this episode, go ahead and use it. And remember to subscribe and leave comments down below, letting everyone know that I made a mistake. Anyways, enjoy, and I will see you on the next one.